welcome! If you're here today, it's because you're ready to immerse yourself into a taste of Spain. And I'm excited to do it with you through this video. First, I will introduce myself. I'm Gloria, an olive oil sommelier and lover. I was born and raised in Spain. I moved to the US to work and study. While I was working, I met my husband. After 7 months dating, my visa expired and I moved back to Spain. And after 1.5 years of long-distance relationship, I came back 8 years ago and got married. When I moved here for good, I really miss Spain, especially the food and a good olive oil, my favorite ingredient. In Spain, we produce more than 50% of all the olive oil in the world. Wow, right? So I was shocked when I found out that the US only produces 5% of all the olive oil we consume here. What means that 95% must be imported. And studies have shown that 73% of imported olive oils are mixed with cheaper oils or rancid. That is when I find out my purpose in life. And I started Olivo Amigo to bring fresh and high quality extra virgin olive oil to the US. I started with 2 early harvested extra virgin olive oil, and after I completed the Spanish experience with a balsamic vinegar with plums and basil made it in Central California. It has the perfect balance. It's sweet with the plums, fresh because of the basil, and has the perfect kick of the balsamic. And then elevate our blend of the Mediterranean spices. It has minced garlic, minced onion, rosemary, basil, marjoram, oregano, and red crushed pepper, the best spices of the Mediterranean, and it's a celebration in the mouth. In my introduction, you may probably have asked yourself, an olive oil sommelier? Oh yes, you listen correctly. Olive oil is like wine. Depending on the olives used, they have different type of olive oils that they will have different characteristics, profiles, and flavors. After all, extra virgin olive oil is just the juice of a fruit, olives, that has been extracted with mechanical means and without applying any heat or chemicals. An extra virgin olive oil, to be labeled as extra virgin, it has to go through 2 tests. One is a chemical test and has to show an acidity lower than 0.8. And another one is the one done with the senses, the smell and the taste. An extra virgin olive oil, to be labeled as extra virgin olive oil, has to have positive attributes. That means that it smells and tastes like fruit or vegetables, like tomato, banana, almond, artichoke, etc. And as well, it has to show no defects. Defects can occur during the harvest, production, or as well how we storage it. Being one of the most common ones, rancid. This organoleptical test has to be done by experts and olive oil sommeliers. As food lover, as well, the next step was to share my favorite recipes with you and the world. And that's when I created Olé, a taste of Spain. I'm excited to share in these recipes how simple, fun, and healthy cooking can be when you have good quality ingredients. Remember, when you're giving love to your food, you're making sure that the food will nourish you and your loved ones. Spain was named the healthiest country in the world by Bloomberg in 2020 and set up to have the largest longevity rate by 2040. Wow, right? And the main reason is because the way we eat, being the main ingredients, healthy fats as extra virgin olive oil or nuts, and as well herbs. They are the most natural earth medicine. The Mediterranean diet has increased over the years all around the world. And no wonder why. It is a win-win for any meal you want to cook and for yourself. It is simple, fast, and delicious to cook it, and better to eat it. And this is why I wanted to share with you this cookbook and video. The cookbook has a total of 29 recipes, and there is something for everyone and any type of occasions. We have salads, appetizers, mains, desserts, and cocktails. Today, we're going to be cooking two other recipes: the refreshing pasta salad and the basil dip. And then we're going to talk more about extra virgin olive oil and share some kitchen tips. Let's start with the refreshing pasta salad. The ingredients that we're going to be using today are pasta. I know the recipe calls for ricotta pasta, but when I was at the store, I carried rigatoni pasta and I got that one. You can always switch it. Then we're going to have some mozzarella balls, some cherry tomatoes, some basil, and today I felt like I wanted to add some lettuce. And that's a beautiful thing about cooking. You can always add any other ingredients that you feel like. So let's go for it. And then after that, we're going to be doing our dressing with our early harvest extra virgin olive oil, our balsamic vinegar, Mediterranean spices, and we can always add a pinch of salt if we feel like. Okay, so I already have my pasta cooled down here, and I'm gonna be adding my lettuce. So just the way I'm gonna cut my lettuce is gonna be like long way and then sideways. You can always cut it as big or small as you feel like. Perfect, now I have all my lettuce and I'm gonna put it into the bowl. Next thing, we're going to be doing our mozzarella balls. We're going to add all of them here, and we're going to be cutting them in half. I love this salad because, as the name says, it's a refreshing salad, which it's perfect for summer and as well really good for spring. But if you feel like you want to have this salad in winter, you can always go ahead and leave the pasta warm. And it will be great because then the mozzarella will melt with it. Then we're going to continue with our tomatoes. Oh, great. We are going to as well cut them in half. I love adding the tomatoes because they're also really refreshing. And what I like the most also about this salad is how easy it is to make it. And it's perfect to take to any type of occasion. You can take it to the park for a big picnic because how simple it is. You can do a lot of servings, and you can as well take it to the beach because it's easy to carry it and it stays well all day. The next thing we're going to be adding is our basil, and we're going to learn a new term that we talk about it on our book, that is chiffonade. And how we're going to do this? We're just going to put all our leaves of basil together. We're going to roll them like a burrito. When we roll them as a burrito, we're going to go ahead and cut. There we go. This smells great. And we're going to add it to our salad. Perfect. It's time to do our delicious dressing. So let's go for it. First, we're going to do our early harvest extra virgin olive oil. We're going to be adding half a cup of it. So let's go for it. Look how good the color. Oh my God. I can drink this all day, every day. Okay, so we're going to add it to our bowl. Next thing we're going to be adding to it 1 tablespoon of spices to bring the freshness of the garden to it. There we go. And the next thing, it's going to be 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. You can always add a bit more. See, I feel like I'm going to add 4 because I really love the taste. But that's a good thing about cooking. You can always add more or less and then add more if you feel like. And we're going to add a pinch of salt. There we go. And now we're just going to whisk everything together. I love it. It's like being like in the garden and smelling all the fresh herbs and all the fresh everything that you have there. Wonderful. So now we have my dressing and I'm going to put it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add it all into our salad. Let's go for it. You can see me. Okay. Happiness in a bowl. So now let's start stirring everything so we make sure it goes everywhere. Perfect. Let's try it. Get a bit of everything here. This is so good. Please go ahead and try it. You're gonna make yourself and your whole family happy. Before, we already learned what is extra virgin olive oil, but I would love to share with you what to look for when buying a good extra virgin olive oil. Thing number 1, look for the harvest date. The production of extra virgin olive oil goes from October to March. The extra virgin olive oil produced in October, it's early harvested, the one we have at Olivo Amigo. And it's the highest quality since it is done with the green olives when they're young and fresh and they have all the flavors and health benefits. When time passes, the olives get more ripe and they lose their health benefits and flavors. Normally, at the store, bottles will give you the expiration date or bottle date, but this doesn't tell us when it was produced. Maybe it was bottled 3 months ago, but maybe it was produced 3 years ago in reality. So only buy olive oil that has a harvest date. And for the highest quality, look for October harvest. Thing number 2, the biggest enemy of extra virgin olive oil are light, heat, and oxygen. So always look for bottles that are completely opaque, neither green or transparent. Just completely opaque or tins. Never again clear or plastic. We want to avoid plastic as well because it's going to make our olive oil bad. Thing number 3, look for an extra virgin olive oil from single origin. If they're mixing extra virgin olive oil from different countries, there are big chances that they have been produced in different times and are in the same quality. So when they mix them, the result is not in a good extra virgin olive oil. Also, the production of extra virgin olive oil in this hemisphere is not the same as in Chile or Australia. They are 6 months apart. So if you see an extra virgin olive oil that has olive oil from Australia and Spain, that means that they have been produced 6 months apart and they have come together. So they are refreshing. They're not the same quality or as fresh. So avoid this. I would like to note as well the difference between extra virgin olive oil and olive oil. When an olive oil has a high acidity or defects and it can't be labeled as extra virgin olive oil or virgin olive oil, it goes through a refined process, cleaning process with heat and chemicals to get rid of the smell and the taste. Then with this clean oil that doesn't have flavor or smell, they mix 80% of this oil, pomace oil with extra virgin olive oil or virgin olive oil to come up with olive oil. It is important to know that olive oil is refined. So we can choose to consume it or to consume better extra virgin olive oil so you can get all the health benefits. An extra virgin olive oil is full of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, and studies have shown that it helps fight strokes, inflammation, diabetes, obesity, arthritis, dementia, and it can boost your heart health, your immune system, and your gut health. Studies have shown that 50 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil, like a shot of olive oil, has the same anti-inflammatory properties as 10% of an ibuprofen. Isn't that crazy? It's the most natural medicine that you can find. The last 2 things I would love to share that I get asked a lot are 2 concepts that come in the bottles, in the labels of the bottles a lot of times. Those are cold press and first press. All extra virgin olive oil, in order to be labeled as extra virgin olive oil, must be cold press and first press. These are really old terms from when we didn't have machines. Before, they had to use a big rock and metals in order to produce olive oil. So the first time they used that rock and the metals, the olive oil was super fresh, the first press. So it was the yummiest. So that's why people wanted the first press. Right now, we use machines and everything is first press. Second, cold press. If you apply heat into production of olive oil, that extra virgin olive oil comes with effects. So again, if it says extra virgin olive oil, it's going to be cold press, and it's going to be as well first press. I got hungry and I need more extra virgin olive oil and spices in my system. So let's keep it going. We're going to be cooking our basil dip. This dip is simple, refreshing, and super yummy. For it, we will need these following things. First, we're going to need a blender. As well, we're going to be needing a clove of garlic. We're going to be needing half a Greek yogurt, a whole 8 ounces feta cheese, 3/4 of a cup of basil, of course, our lovely Mediterranean spices, and our extra virgin olive oil. So let's go for it. First, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our feta cheese and we're going to put it in our blender. It is easier if you're able to cut it like this, so it fits all at once. Perfect. Next thing we're going to be adding, it's going to be our Greek yogurt. Perfect. All in. I love Greek yogurt in the morning, but it's also great for a dip, as you can see here. Next thing we're going to be adding is our basil leaves. Half a cup, so yummy, and 2 tablespoons of our Mediterranean spice blend. You never have enough of this blend, so if you want to add a bit more, don't be afraid of it. Go for it. And then we're going to be adding our clove of garlic and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, but I always love adding more, so I'm going to go for 4. You never have enough olive oil in your life. Wonderful. So now let's go ahead. We're going to close our blender and we're going to blend it for about a minute or more because this takes some time. So just go for it. Also, another tip that you can do is if you buy the feta that comes in liquid, you can always add a bit of the liquid to it, and this can help. Or more olive oil. We're going to be adding a bit more of olive oil, like maybe another 1 or 2 spoons. Once it's ready, we just go ahead and we put it into our bowl. It's ready and we have put it in our bowl. We're gonna go ahead and drizzle some olive oil on top. Can you have never enough? Look how yummy this looks. And we're gonna add some spices to it as well to the top. Look how yummy this looks. It is perfect to eat it with crudities like carrots or cucumber, and as well with chips, or you can add it to like salads or like to sandwiches, or just get a spoon and eat it like this. It's delicious. We're finally done cooking, but not eating. So I would like to share as well with you some of my favorite kitchen tips that make my life much easier in the kitchen. First, every week I like to choose between 5 or 6 ingredients that I can mix and match. This week, for example, could be lettuce, pasta, cooked ground beef, jarred peppers, tomatoes, sauce, and a dip. With these ingredients, I can make different fun and easy and healthy meals. Just with everything together. I can have a salad with peppers and ground beef, for example, You can also go ahead and have some pasta with the tomato and the ground beef. It's easy to just put everything together and put it in the microwave, ready, and add some cheese on top. You can do stuffed peppers with the ground beef as a recipe on the cookbook, but this time, rather than cooking the peppers and taking that much time, you can go ahead and buy in the store jar peppers and just go ahead, open the jar, fill the peppers, put it in the oven or the microwave, and ready. You can also have lettuce wraps with the dip. You just have like a piece of lettuce, you just add the dip and some ground beef. Perfect. Second tip, always have ingredients that they last long in the fridge. I always like to have some cherry tomatoes, some cheese or mozzarella balls, a dip, a salami, and some veggies, so I can quickly do a charcuterie board for some tapas for Friday night if I don't feel like I want to cook. I just take all of those out, put it together, get some bread from the freezer, some extra virgin olive oil, some spices, some balsamic, and it's perfect. And everyone will have a great time doing their own tapas style, and it's perfect. Third thing I like to do is meal prep and use the freezer as my favorite friend. I always love to cook more than I eat. So if I do a soup or lentils or homemade tomato sauce, I go ahead and I freeze some, and then I can take it out whenever I want. And I feel like, oh, a soup I cooked a month ago, I can take it out and have it that night. You can as well buy some frozen rice at the store or some bread and have it in the freezer. And you just go ahead at night. You just take the bread, put it in the oven with some salami, charcuterie, the dip, as we said before. Perfect. Another thing you can do as well is get the frozen rice. You put it just in the pan with some frozen tomato, and then you have rice with tomato, and it's perfect. Another tip is the dressing for salads. I always like to add extra virgin olive oil to my lettuce, to my salad, before adding the dressing. Why? When you just go ahead and add the dressing without adding extra virgin olive oil on top, the dressing stays in the first leaf. And then when you have eaten the first layer of your salad, you don't have more dressing. And it's so sad because you ended up using the whole bottle of ranch. And don't get me wrong, I love ranch, but it's better if we reduce the consume. So what I do is just I add a good drizzle of extra virgin olive oil in my salad. I stir it first. Then I add 1 or 2 spoons of my ranch, and then I stir everything. And that is how my dressing goes all over my salad. You don't need to have fresh herbs always at home. It is super hard to keep them alive, and then we all beat ourselves about it. So hey, let's forget about that. Let's go ahead and have our Mediterranean spices, which is a mix, again, of the best Mediterranean spices, and you don't need to have them alive. You just have this and just add it to everything and anything, and it makes everything fun. The last tip I would love to share is how you can go ahead and use leftovers. You just if you put in a pan the leftovers from the day before, and you add some balsamic, some extra virgin olive oil, and spices, suddenly you have a completely new meal. Perfect. The last thing I would love to share with you is how you can use these ingredients. Because sometimes we have healthy and good quality ingredients, but we don't know how to use them. So I'm going to give you some tips on where to use your extra virgin olive oil. You can use your extra virgin olive oil in anything and everything. All the way, again, as we said before, in your leftovers, you can add it on your rice, you can add it in your meat, in your fish, in your veggies. You can add it on top of cheese, on top of ice cream. Delicious vanilla ice cream with a bit of salt. You can add it on your dates. It's perfect. And of course, my favorite, in a good loaf of bread with some spices and the salt. Perfect. And a salad, of course. Balsamic vinegar. It goes well in a dressing with the olive oil and the spices, but it's also great if you want to marinate some chicken, or if you want to marinate some Brussels sprouts. So before putting the Brussels sprouts on the oven, it's great for it. As well in some chocolate ice cream. It's perfect on strawberries, and as well on a Negroni, because it's going to bring that sweetiness into the bitterness that the Negroni has. The Mediterranean spices. Sometimes I had some people asking me, in what can you use them? My question is, in what not? Besides sweet, I will add it to everything and anything. That's my husband's style. What he does, he added like potatoes, fish, meat, veggies, salads, bread, everything and anything, rice, pasta with some the spices, with some olive oil and some parmesan. You don't need more in life. So I promise, good quality ingredients and few ingredients can make your life much, much easier. Just give it a try, keep using them, and enjoy it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and happy cooking. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Happy cooking!